What is stopping you from being your best version? If you don't know how to answer this question, let me provide you with the solution to the mystery. Yourself. Within you lives the anchor that does not allow you to advance on the path of life. But the solution to all your problems also coexists. That key that will allow you to open the doors of your being. Get ready. Because today you will discover the power of the shadow and how to defeat it to be the person you want to be. Stay until the end. The shadow is a concept created by Swiss psychologist Carl Jung and represents that dark, unconscious part of our personality that we often prefer not to face. However, the process of confronting and overcoming the shadow can be a transformative catalyst that fundamentally changes our lives. At the heart of the shadow lies everything that we have relegated to the darkest corner of our minds. Our deepest fears, repressed desires, unspeakable instincts and aspects of ourselves that we have labeled as unacceptable. By ignoring or suppressing this part of ourselves, we allow the shadow to exert its influence underground, affecting our decisions, relationships, and life experiences in ways we often don't fully understand. This shadow occupies our entire being, from the conscious to the unconscious, and this is where we find the first tool to take charge of this factor. The importance of being aware of our unconscious lies in the profound impact it has on our personal development and the way we lead our lives. When we become aware of the patterns, beliefs, and thoughts that reside in the realm of the unconscious, we give ourselves the opportunity to exert greater control over our choices and actions. In essence, awareness of the unconscious is like turning on the light in a dark room in our mind. It allows us to see what was previously hidden, to understand the motivations behind our decisions, and reveal impulses that may be affecting our lives in ways we weren't even aware of. By bringing to light these aspects that at first seemed consumed by darkness, we give ourselves the power to consciously transform our reality. But if we let the unconscious direct our destiny, we are subject to automatic patterns and conditioned responses that may not be aligned with our conscious goals and values. Awareness of the unconscious gives us the ability to question, adjust, and ultimately redirect these patterns. It allows us to make more informed decisions aligned with what we really want to achieve in life. By exploring the deeper layers of our psyche, we can address old wounds, overcome self-imposed limitations, and free ourselves from limiting beliefs. It's not always an easy journey, but this process of self-exploration and self-reflection contributes to the expansion of our consciousness and the continued evolution of our identity. The process of facing the shadow involves looking directly into those dark corners and recognizing the totality of who we are. It is a brave and liberating act that allows us to integrate those previously discarded parts of our personality. In doing so, we unearth the potential for authenticity and wholeness. Overcoming the shadow is much more than accepting our negative side. It involves illuminating those hidden aspects and allowing them to be healthily integrated into our conscious identity. This act of integration frees us from self-sabotage and self-deception, in addition to enabling us to make decisions aligned with the values that represent us. The shadow also plays a vital role in our interpersonal relationships. What we do not face in ourselves can be projected onto others, giving rise to unnecessary misunderstandings and conflicts. By exploring and embracing our shadow, we gain greater understanding and empathy for ourselves and others. Generally speaking, shadow exploration is an ongoing and enriching process that can radically change our perspective on life. It gives us the opportunity to embrace the totality of our existence, free ourselves from limiting patterns, and open the door to deep authenticity. With courage and self-acceptance, facing the shadow becomes a powerful tool for personal transformation and a step toward a fuller, more meaningful life. Just thinking about facing our own fears can seem terrifying and would make more than one person recoil. since many times we do not even fully know these fears. But here's the kicker. These aspects of ourselves often manifest through specific archetypes. For example, imagine someone who tends to be very rational and logical. We could say that they have a more emotional shadow, represented by a more free and expressive archetype. On the other hand, if you know someone who always tries to be the hero in every situation, this could be their dominant archetype. But your shadow could manifest as the villain, those less admirable aspects that you would rather not acknowledge. Perhaps in stressful situations, this individual displays a more controlling or arrogant side, which is their shadow playing a role. Another example could be someone who constantly seeks to be the mother or father in their relationships. This dominant caregiver archetype could hide a shadow that manifests as the rebellious child, that part of them that seeks freedom and unrestricted fun. The key here is that by consciously and unconsciously recognizing and dealing with these archetypes and their associated shadows, we can have a more complete understanding of ourselves. Instead of rejecting certain aspects, we integrate them into our personality in a healthy way. It's like saying, yes, I know I have this part a little more challenging, but I also know how to channel it in a positive way when necessary. By exploring them and understanding how they interact, we gain greater authenticity and balance in our lives. It is a fascinating journey towards self-discovery and personal growth. By exploring our own archetypes, we can also delve deeper into that of others, which represents a perfect tool for interpersonal relationships. Dealing with the shadow represents a journey of self-exploration. It's like opening a door to those dark and less explored aspects of ourselves that we often prefer to ignore. On this journey, the first step is to make peace with those dark sides. Instead of seeing them as enemies, we recognize them as parts of us that also deserve attention and understanding. Self-observation without judgment is the best tool in this process. When we react in ways that disconcert us, instead of judging ourselves, we become compassionate observers. It's all about looking at our own patterns and asking ourselves, why did I act this way? What's behind this reaction? Constructive internal dialogue begins to develop through these questions. It's a friendly chat with yourself, exploring the motivations and fears that may be hidden in the shadows. You delve deeper into who you are. You realize that your shadow is not as dark as you thought, and you give a face to your fears so you can face them. It is an act of self-exploration that brings us closer to more fully understanding who we are. During your trip, don't forget to be understanding with yourself. Having a shadow does not make you a bad person. We must recognize that the shadow does not make us less valuable. It simply shows us our humanity. By practicing compassion, we give ourselves the space to learn and grow from these dark places. They stop being an obstacle and become a tool for our elevation and personal development. Creativity becomes a channel to express what is in the shadows. Many of the greatest artists in history used their shadow to fuel their creativity. They knew that these dark aspects were a part of them and used art as an escape to create beautiful things from this seemingly negative side. Paint, write, dance. Any form of creative expression can be like releasing those aspects that we have kept in the dark. Creativity acts as a bridge between the conscious and the unconscious. But if you don't dedicate yourself to art, you can also take advantage of it. Exercising, leading work groups, or simply working on yourself are all ways to take advantage of our shadow for our own benefit. These activities, in addition to being a catalyst for our energies, become rituals of self-knowledge that connect us with ourselves in a special way. These rituals are like sacred pauses to get to know ourselves better, and consequently act better on ourselves and our environment. Developing a curious mind prompts us to question our own patterns. Why do certain behaviors persist? What can we learn from them? Curiosity guides us on this journey. Remember that no one will be as interested in getting to know you as you are. When you understand that you are the best company you can have, this journey becomes enjoyable and intimate, like meeting a new friend. Our relationships also benefit during this journey and are a great support at this time. Although, in essence, we must go through this stage alone, relationships become powerful mirrors of our process. They become powerful mirrors on this journey. We observe how we interact with others and what emotions are awakened in us. Sometimes what irritates us in others reflects aspects of our own shadow, and relationships become opportunities for self-knowledge. Pay attention to how you act with your friends, with your family, with your colleagues. I could tell you a lot that you didn't know about your own shadow. Facing the shadow is not a one-time process, but rather an ongoing journey toward authenticity. Each step brings us closer to fully understanding ourselves and living a more authentic life. I invite you to explore those less illuminated places and discover the richness that lies within them. What you find might surprise you. What do you think about this topic? Leave your opinion in comments. If this video resonated with you, I invite you to like and subscribe to our channel. Share this video with others so they can benefit from this message, and don't forget to leave a comment sharing your thoughts, reflections and experiences. Thank you for watching and for joining this journey, and we are waiting for you in the next video. Blessings.